Hey there, CJ Masscollar. So I'm recording here from the airport to try and get your Thursday notes and homework in. We'll see how this works out. So the goal of our lives is to, obviously we're going to fill this out. I want to keep on hammering this home. Live with God forever. We don't just get an education for ourselves. We get an education so we can go out and make the world a better place. Today you're going to be using this link that I have for you in your email from this website called LearnVest. And basically it's going to be a MASH calculator to see how much your ideal lifestyle would cost. So first we're going to do a super fancy simulation where we pick all the most expensive things for our life, and then we're going to do a super minimalist simulation. Let's go ahead and go to that website. And I'll be going back and forth to try and help you guys out. So this is the MASH calculator website from LearnVest. It just basically is going to try and calculate how much your lifestyle will cost, right? So there will be 12 questions. You need to answer all 12. On this first one, you're going to answer every question with this bottom one, right? So you're going to go ahead and say, what's your primary residence? I'm going to have a house on the waterfront. I'm going to hit continue. Do you want to splurge on a second vacation home? Absolutely I do. I want a beach house. Keep going. What type of vehicle do I want? Oh, I want a Mercedes-Benz. Keep going. How often do you trade your wheels in? Probably once a year, just because I like to keep everything up and running. How many kids will I have? Right now, it's going to be all about me. I'm going to have no kids, so I don't have to worry about spending money on them. Who will take care of your kids? You don't need it. No kids, no child care needed. Will you pay for your child's education? No kids needed, so I don't have to worry about paying for somebody's education. How much do you like to spend on your appearance? I like all the finest stuff. I'm what's called a fashionista. All the designer brands. How will you spend your free time? I want to be able to eat at fine restaurants, take up sailing, attend charity galas, all that good stuff. How much do you intend to travel? Basically every chance I get, going to all the fancy places in the world. How am I going to spend retirement? I'm going to live in that nice gated community on a golf course, travel around the world. And do I need to pay for my parents' care? No, I'm not going to worry about them. So let's continue. So my life is going to cost $17,510,000, and that's just for me. That's no kids, all right? Just worrying about number one, right? And my average household income is going to need to be $437,000 a year. So let's go ahead and put that down. In the super duper lifestyle, it's $17,510,000. $17,510,000. And my average, what I'll have to make per year, is going to be $437,000. And I'm forgetting the number here. 750. All right. Now I want us to do the calculator again, but this time I want us to go back and be super minimalist. So let's go ahead and click this button, Retake Quiz. And so now I want us to think about just trying to really conserve on everything. So what's my primary residence going to be? I'm going to be in a modest home, right? Am I going to splurge on a second vacation home? No. One home will be enough for me. What type of vehicle do I want to drive? I'm going to be a man that cares about the environment, and I'm going to take bike or public transportation. Do I trade in my wheels? No, I make sure that my car or bike lasts forever. How many kids will I have? Well, let's go ahead and just say I raise a nice family with 2 kids, right? Who's going to care for the kids? Well, I think maybe I can get my parents to do it, right? Free babysitting, hopefully. How am I going to pay for my kids to go to college? Well, I hope they can go to state school. Private school is super expensive, so let's hope they can go to state school. How much do you like to spend on your appearance? Hence the name of the exercise. I'm a minimalist. The basics do fine just for me, just white t-shirts and jeans. How am I going to spend my free time? I'm going to read. I'm going to read books. I'm going to walk and meditate. It's going to all be free for me. Number 10, how do I intend to travel? Almost never, but when I do, I'll make sure I drive a car, those long cross-country road trips. And how do I plan on retiring? Retiring, I'm going to be teaching at CJA forever. All right. And who's going to care for my parents? I am going to try and care for them. Probably try and cover just their day-to-day expenses. I don't have the money to do that. So here's my life now. My life costs $882,000, way less than $17 million, right? And my income needs to be $22,050 per year. So $882,000. And my income needs to be $22,050, I think it was. Yeah, $22,050 a year. So look at the differences in lifestyles. Yes, you can have everything that you want over here, and your life will cost about $17 million. But you have to make $437,000 a year to provide for that lifestyle. Or you can kind of live the minimalist life, have a couple kids, take care of your parents when they retire. That's the good things to do. $882,000 with $22,050. Now, let's go ahead and estimate the difference in lifestyle cost between the super fancy and super minimalist. So yesterday we talked about estimation. Since we have nothing but 100,000s over here, I want us to round to the nearest 100,000. So there. So subtract 882,000 and round to the nearest 100,000th here. All right, so you guys will figure that out. Hopefully you'll have $17.5 million here, minus, this tells us to round up, right? Because the one told us to stay the same, so round up, minus 900,000 right here. You're gonna find out the difference between those two lifestyles. I also want you to estimate the difference in household income. So $437,750 minus $22,050, and let's round to the nearest 10,000. So I'll underline this, circle here, so it should round us up to 440,000 a year for the super fancy lifestyle, and then should round us down to 20,000 a year for the minimalist lifestyle. All right, so now think back. Out of those 12 questions, actually, you guys need to answer these too. But out of those 12 questions, which 3 are the most important to you? Let's go back to these. So if I were to retake the quiz, do you care about your house, right? I'm just going to click through real quick. Do you care about going on vacation homes or owning a vacation home? Do you care about the car that you drive? Do you care about how often you trade in your car to get a new car, right? Do you care about having a family? You want kids. How are you going to take care of your kids? You know, somebody takes care of you nowadays. How are they going to get to college, right? You want your family to be educated just like you are. How do you want to dress? How do you want to appear in front of everybody, right? How do you want to spend your free time? Okay, I'm just randomly clicking so we can get through the questions. How do you want to travel? Do you want to go see the world? What about when you retire? At some point, you probably will stop working. What do you want to do then? And then what about your parents, the people that are taking care of you now? How are you going to take care of them? So out of those 12 questions, I want you to ask yourselves which ones are the most important to you. And then I want you to run the simulation one more time. And so you're going to retake the quiz one more time. But I want you to choose cheap for everything except the 3 things that matter to you. Okay, there you can splurge. So for instance, if like you, sorry, one second here. Let me just finish that up. Let's retake the quiz. If you say, all right, home doesn't matter to me, fine. You're going to pick it cheap, right? Vacation doesn't matter to me, fine, pick it cheap. But, oh, my vehicle, that was one of the 3 things that was really important to you. Go big on it, okay? So you only get to go big on 3 things. How often you trade in your wheels? Going big would be saying once a year. Going small would be 15 a year. How many kids do you have? Going big would be 8, right? And going small would be nothing. All right, so I want you to go through, run your own simulation. Tell me how much your lifestyle costs, right? Tell me how much you have to make a year to afford that, just like the 2 numbers always give you. And then give me your reactions. Are you happy with your life? Did you pick material things or family things? And then, again, going back to our rule of 4, if you only lived on $4 a day, do you think you could live on your ideal life? All right, so run that simulation, then answer this short question right here about why do you think our lives shouldn't be determined by fancy things, all right? your homework tonight is going to be kind of related to this last part of the notes. So this is still notes. And these are functions. Basically, the MASH calculator is a function. So go ahead and write that down. MASH calculator is a function, right? It has these rules kind of set up for the choices that you plug into that calculator. It spits out a result, and that's what a function kind of table is, right? You're going to plug something into this function, and it's going to spit you out an answer. So here's how we work these. So if the input is 0, you plug in 0 for x, so you say 0 plus 3, and your output should be 3. You just work it out. Basically, you're just replacing this x with what the value is. So input 2 for x, so it becomes 2 plus 3, and your output of your function is, oops, sorry, skipped ahead there, 2 plus 3. Your output is 5. Input 4 plus 3, your output is 7. All right, I'm going to do some more of the odds here. Let's input 7 minus 1, your output is 6. 5 minus 1, your output is 4. 4 minus 1, your output is 3. For this one right here, this is interesting. When you have a number like 3 right next to an x, that means multiplication. So 3 times, that's a dot, means times 0, your output is 0. 3 times input instead of x, you put 1, your output is 3. 3 times instead of x, you're going to put 2, your output is 6. Division, so 12 instead of x divided by 3, your output is 4. 9 divided by 3, your output is 3. And then 6 instead of x, 6 divided by 3, your output is 2. All right, here's some more practice down for you. Down here, basically, in this section, you're just going to do exactly what we did up here. You're going to say 1 minus 1, what does it give you? Your output, y, is 0. 2 minus 1, what does it give you? Your output, y, is 1. 3 minus 1, what does it give you? Your output is 2. 4 minus 1, what does it give you? Your output is 3. Remember, when you have a problem like number 3 with the number right next to the variable, it means multiplication. So 3, instead of putting a dot 1, I could put parentheses 1, and that means multiplied, not 31. This is not 31. Write this down. Not 31. Means multiply. Means multiply. Okay, so it's still 3. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 parentheses 2, that's not 32. That's just 3 times 2, which is 6. 3 parentheses 3, that's 9. 3 parentheses 4, that's 12. Right? You guys have got the other ones on there. When I come back, I want to see notes that are completed, right? That have all these function tables filled out. And then here's an application process. Natasha bought some bracelets and some rings during a jewelry store sale. Each bracelet cost $4 and each ring cost $7. If Natasha spent $29 on jewelry, how many bracelets and rings could she buy? So think about this. We have 4 bracelets. We'll call that B, plus 7. We'll call those rings. And we know that she is able to get $29 spent on jewelry total. So let's think about this. What numbers could we plug in? What combinations could we plug in for the amount of bracelets she bought and the amount of rings that she bought, so that when I plug them in and multiply those two numbers and add them together, it equals 29. So let's think here. For instance, if I wanted to plug in, just for example, she bought 3 bracelets. Well, I know that's 12. So 29 minus 12 would mean I would have 17 left, and I can't do 7 times some number to give me 17, so it can't be 3 bracelets. What if I said that she bought 3 rings? 7 times 3, I know that that's 21, meaning I have 8 left over. Oh, and then she brought 2 bracelets. How about that? Right, because this is 4 times 2 is 8, 7 times 3 is 21, and that gives us $29, just like she spent. So she brought 2 bracelets and 3 rings. Right? Have fun with the MASH calculator. Make sure you get 75 minutes of ST math this week, guys, and watch the homework video.